Mr. Achese, if I may ask this question,
yes.
If the ministry has said you're not recognized, and you say you've met all the requirements, even though there are those who will argue that meeting the requirements doesn't mean recognition. That you've met the requirements, it's okay, but that doesn't mean recognition. But then he also says that you're asking unions that don't have individual issues to come out on the strike.
These are affiliates of ULC. These are affiliates of ULC.
I'm asking the question based on that statement by the minister that you're not recognized, that ULC is not recognized. Does NUPENG, your own union, does NUPENG have any issues with its employees?
Of course, we have a lot of issues.
Issues that are causing you to go on strike as well?
Of course, we have a lot of issues. Look, one of the issues, like I've said clearly, I spoke with the Minister of Petroleum 2 days ago. NUPENG, even on our own, issued a strike notice to the Ministry of Petroleum, Ministry of Labor, all agencies. This is not a new issue. It is well-known issue by the media. The workers who AMCOM took over their investment in 2013. I'm talking about the Seawolf workers now. Now AMCOM took over this investment, buying over their debt, and then closing up the company in 2013. As I speak to you till date, no 1 naira has been paid to these workers who are putting in 10 years, 5 years in course of the process of work in Seawolf. We have called for negotiations. We've advised government to pay these workers off. When you take over an investment, you're taking over assets and liability. Now, this is one. Now, you go back again to issues of Chevron workers.
Okay, so these are the issues that NUPENG has. Now, do all the affiliate unions you have in ULC have this kind of issue?
Of course they have. Most of them have.
Why won't each of those unions put forth their own strike threat instead of ULC that the federal government says they don't recognize, pushing to go on a strike?
Look, let me help you to say this. I don't see, this is where we are. I want to let you understand that ULC has come to stay. ULC is a labor federation. On the line, I've said global issues, and I've told you the global laws, which Nigeria is also part of. And I've told you, look, in South Africa in June, a new labor center emerged from the Mines Workers Union. And they were recognized, duly recognized. There is no ambiguities about it, because the international labor law stipulates clearly the rules that can make a labor federation to exist. Now, this labor federation in South Africa is existing. Here in Benin, in Benin Republic here, we have about 30-something labor centers, labor federations. And so what does that take away? Now, in the issue of ULC, like you've heard, we are not here to compete in any form.
If I could jump in to bring this matter, there's your Ephraim James, who is the chairman of ULC Kaduna chapter, says you're commenting on a definite strike, and he says over failure of government to register the union. That's part of the reasons, among so many others.
Of course, there are issues. There are issues. Now, if you go through our demands, which is also in the print media, which we'll read out, you will see issues on ground. Now, you're also talking about concessions of the railways, institution.
Yes, but why would failure of government to register your union be part of your demands to go on strike? You're going to grind part of the power sector, if not all of it, and part of the reason is registration.
You understand? I hope you are aware of what is happening in the power sector today in PSCM. That the concession that was done in PSCM,
but why why is this issue part of your demand? If you didn't think, if you said, look, we're registered, you've met your requirements. So why is that part of the key issue? Because that's number one on his list.
Chamberlain, it is part of the key issues on the line that why we raise that as a key issue is this. Let me tell you. The Salary and Minimum Wage Commission is on. No representative from ULC is appointed in that place. Of course, let me just say that we got a letter yesterday, about 2 days ago, requesting ULC to send in a nomination into the minimum wage council negotiating team. That which we have also replied back. That's to tell you that it's a process. Now, it's part of the issues we put in our demands. Now, one of those demands have been met. That look, send in a nomination into that council. Now, is ULC as an organization today, are they workers? That is the underlying factor you must always read.
Okay, so
are they workers? Are they politicians? If the answer is they are not politicians, that they are workers, do they have their rights as workers? These are the issues we must also underline. Now, I want to state clearly that Kagame should be able to understand. Unfortunately, he was talking for NLC. He was also talking for TUC. I've never made references to TUC as part of NLC before. But I've only mentioned here clearly that the formation of TUC and NLC, how they were all created. They were all created by fiat presidential directive. None of them went through the process of registration as ULC is going through. Now, recall again back that when TUC were in the process of their struggle to be recognized, they were declaring actions here and there. Nobody came to say TUC is an illegal institution. Nobody from the labor movement has come to say, why not recognize TUC? Now, President Obasanjo came into office and gave them that recognition and said they should go and be registered in the course of amending that act. Now, they were registered today. But ask him again, within the period on the line that before they were given their recognition, were they in the moods of declaring or also as workers, on the line as workers? So that are the issues we must also
I'm going to toss it to Markwe then on that note. Markwe?
Well, just before you toss it to me, I'm sure that there's one or two questions which Mr. Achese is yet to address, which is, why haven't you gone to court? Because they say that what you're trying to do is blackmail the federal government into registering you.
Of course, the issue is not an issue for us to go to court. If the issue is an issue for us to go to court, we would have done that. In the same vein, you would have also asked Kagame, when TUC were in the face-off of their struggle to be recognized, if they went to court. So these are the key issues we must also know. It's a labor issue. Labor issues, we don't just run to court on issues of labor. We're not a political institution or political party per se. But you will understand that Nigeria being part of the global environment of the international labor federations, we are part of these issues. And so Nigeria cannot shy away from our responsibility of saying that, look, workers must be recognized, provided they have been able to meet the necessary requirement. I've said this clearly again. I've answered the same questions again. Like I did mention 2 days ago in one of my media interview, it would have been so bad if governors who moved from APC to PDP are asked to leave their seats. And also if governors who left PDP to APC are also asked to leave their seats. And those of them in the National Assembly as well. I find it hardly, on the line, I find it very hard to believe that this is what is happening today in our great country. It means where there is a divorce, it means you remain perpetually divorced and you cannot get married to another person. That is the kind of interpretation Kagame and his colleagues are giving. That
Mr. Achese, some people will say that you don't seem to, regard the laws then, because the laws do not stipulate that when governors defect, they leave their seat. Instead, the same doesn't apply to legislators. Legislators are required to leave their seats if there is no division within their party and they defect to another party. I mean, we've seen 1 or 2 people, even though it's not been very rampant, lose their seats as a result of that. So are you saying then that if that is what the law requires in your own case, you would not follow the law?
Of course, that is not the issue. Look, if that is what the law requires, we will definitely go by that. But I'll tell you of a truth that in the course of this issue, even the NLC has its own constitution, which is also clear. TUC also has their own constitution that is also clear, that those who are not due paying members are not members of their institutions. Those who are not affiliate paying members are not members of the federation.